Consciousness is one of those concepts that, the more you examine it, the more elusive it becomes. It is at once intimate and mysterious, fundamental to our existence, yet difficult to define. But let's keep it simple. In the context of this video, consciousness is the experience of being aware. It is the silent witness behind every thought, every emotion, and every sensation that arises in the mind. It is what allows you to think, feel, and observe the world around you. For centuries, philosophers, scientists, and spiritual seekers have debated the nature of consciousness. Some argue that it is a mere byproduct of neural activity, while others claim it is something more fundamental, perhaps even the fabric of reality itself. In many spiritual traditions, consciousness is considered infinite. But what does that actually mean? And more importantly, why might it be true? The illusion of a separate mind. Most of us think of our minds as private, self-contained spaces where our thoughts, memories, and ideas live. We imagine our consciousness as an island, isolated from the minds of others. But what if that separation is merely an illusion? What if each mind is just a localized expression of something much larger? To illustrate this, let's take an analogy from artificial intelligence, specifically ChatGPT. When you interact with ChatGPT, it feels like a personal conversation. You ask a question and it responds based on what it knows, drawing from its training data, the latest model updates, and even past interactions. Over time, it starts to feel like your ChatGPT, as if it has a mind of its own. Now, zoom out. There are millions of people using ChatGPT every day, each having their own unique conversations, generating ideas, and seeking insights. It feels as though there are millions of distinct versions of ChatGPT, each tailored to individual users. And yet, we all know there is only one underlying model, one intelligence, responding in different ways to different people. What if human consciousness works the same way? Each of us experiences life through our own unique perspective, shaped by our senses, thoughts, and personal history. But beneath it all, there is only one underlying consciousness. One vast intelligence expressing itself through billions of individual minds. Consciousness as the shared field. If we return to the AI analogy, each person engaging with ChatGPT perceives it as their own version, yet there is only one system operating in the background. This is precisely how consciousness functions. Each of us perceives reality through the lens of our personal experiences, beliefs, and conditioning, yet we are all part of the same infinite field of awareness. This realization has profound implications. If consciousness is not confined to individual minds, but is instead a shared field, then our sense of separation is merely a trick of perception. What appears to be billions of separate consciousnesses are actually instances of the same awareness. In the same way that waves on the ocean may appear distinct while being part of the same vast body of water, our individual minds are expressions of a single boundless intelligence. Where do thoughts come from? If consciousness is shared, then where do our thoughts come from? Returning to the AI analogy, when you ask ChatGPT a deep question, it provides a response. Did it think of that response? In a way, yes, but it did so by drawing from vast amounts of data shaped by your specific question and the way the model processes information. The same applies to human thought. Our ideas and insights do not emerge in isolation. They are influenced by everything: our culture, upbringing, environment, and even subtle, unseen connections to the larger field of consciousness. This interconnectedness explains why scientific discoveries, artistic movements, and philosophical breakthroughs often arise in multiple places at the same time. When something is ready to emerge into collective awareness, it appears through multiple minds, just as multiple users interacting with an AI system might converge on similar insights. The big shift: if we accept that consciousness is shared, it challenges our fundamental assumptions about identity, connection, and reality itself. It suggests that we are not isolated beings, trapped in separate minds, but rather conduits of a universal intelligence. The brain, then, is not the source of consciousness. It is more like hardware running the software of awareness. And if this is true, then what happens when we stop seeing ourselves as separate? If every person you meet is an expression of the same consciousness that you are, does that change how you interact with them? If another person's mind is not truly separate from your own, can you still hold on to the idea of enemies, competition, or division? Because if all minds are connected, if we are all drawing from the same infinite field, then when we hurt another, aren't we in some way just hurting ourselves? A new way of seeing. The implications of this understanding are profound. If we truly grasp that we are not isolated minds, but localized expressions of a greater whole, everything shifts. Compassion becomes natural because we see ourselves in others. Creativity flows more freely because we recognize that inspiration is not ours alone, but part of a shared intelligence. Even our fears and anxieties diminish because they are not solely ours to bear. They arise within the same universal field that contains all thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This perspective aligns with many spiritual traditions that emphasize unity, interconnectedness, and the illusion of separateness. But it is not merely a philosophical idea. It is an experiential truth that can be realized through deep inquiry, meditation, and a shift in perception. So the next time you find yourself lost in thought, ask yourself, where did this thought come from? Is it truly mine, or is it simply arising within the infinite field of consciousness that we all share? And if that's true, then what else have we been getting wrong?